Hello. The watery trillium is an integral part of the larger Catawba Watery River Basin. And here I have Brandon Jones, who is the Catawba riverkeeper. Thank you so much for participating with us today, Brandon. My
Yeah, thanks
first
for
question,
having me.
yeah, my first question for you is could you share where you're located right now?
Yeah, so I'm actually here at beautiful Lansford Canal State Park. So Lansford Canal is right along the fall line here in South Carolina, about an hour north of Columbia, about an hour south of Charlotte. Yeah, it's one of my favorite state parks in South Carolina, one of the most beautiful sections of the Catawba Watery River Basin.
Awesome. Could you share a bit about the Catawba River and your role as riverkeeper?
Yeah, so as the Catawba River Keeper, I'm part of the Waterkeeper Alliance. So this is an international coalition of keepers or advocates. So I'm an advocate for the Catawba Watery River and all the tributaries. So we advocate for really the protection of the river. So this will be things like, we collect water samples, we lobby, we are actively engaged citizens to get out there. Um, really try and speak for the river and for current and future generations to protect this precious resource.
Awesome. What could you tell us about the importance of the watery trillium and the other plants that live in and along the river?
Yeah, so we are heavily dependent on these plants and these ecosystem services for both for water filtration and for sediment control. So it's really important to have these diverse ecosystems along the river. They help hold that sediment in place that the water doesn't fill in. It also helps filter out the water. This is our drinking water reservoir. So here in the Piedmont, we don't really have the aquifer beneath us to support large cities. So any of the major cities, you can think of Atlanta, Columbia, Charlotte, even Rock Hill, we're really all dependent on surface water for our drinking water. So it's really important that the stuff is filtered out and cleaned. And plants like the watery trillium are part of those ecosystems that do that.
Awesome. So, as we're recording this interview as part of an arts initiative, what role do you think that arts and education play in protecting river ecosystems?
Yeah, it's absolutely critical that people know about this stuff, that they care about it, that they're engaged with it. I feel like our society, we really specialize a lot now. And I mean, oftentimes people have no idea where the drinking water comes from, where it goes when it goes down the sink. Um, it's very, very important to get people out there, to get people engaged in their community, engaged in the river. And I think that art is an excellent way to do that, help people ask questions and really think about where they are in the world and where these resources come from.
And for those watching, what can people do to support the Catawba River, or if they're far away, the other waterways that might be near them?
Yeah, so there's kind of the easy stuff, right, that you always hear about, conserve water, turn off the tap if you're not using it, capture your rainwater for irrigation, don't have the sprinklers on during the heavy part of the day, that kind of stuff. In our area, you can also turn off the lights. So we are heavily dependent on both electric power from the dams and from thermoelectric power from our coal-fired and nuclear power plants. And this evaporates millions of gallons of water every day. So conserving electricity is also helpful. You can volunteer. We have tons of cleanups. We can get out there and help clean up the water. We have other events where we have volunteers come and help us teach the classes, if that's more your thing. And then get outside. And like I mentioned earlier, it's a lot easier to convince people to care when you actually see it. So we really encourage people to use those resources, get out there, go kayaking, go canoeing, take a walk along the shoreline, kind of engage with the water around you. And then finally, you can become a member. So we are a 501c3 nonprofit. So we are completely driven by memberships, by donations, by individuals, and by grants that we receive. So if you'd like to contribute financially, we'd also appreciate that.
Awesome. And is there anything else you'd like to share today?
Sure. One thing I would also mention, I'm here at Lansford Canal State Park, and this is home to the Rocky Shoals spider lilies. So this is a very rare species here. They only grow along the fall line in undammed areas. And it's about a 4 foot tall lily. And there's about 23 acres of them here. They only bloom once a year, right about now. So over the next couple of weeks, you can paddle through this beautiful garden. It's absolutely wonderful. There's nothing like it. I definitely encourage anybody in the area to come out and check out Lansford Canal State Park and the Rocky Shoals spider lilies.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks for having me.